Let's be real. The moment she blocks certain people because of you, something profound has already shifted. Most men don't recognize it until they've already mishandled it. This isn't about control, jealousy, or power plays. It's about priority. It's about emotional safety. It's about how a woman quietly decides who truly matters in her inner world. When a woman blocks someone without being asked, without pressure, without conflict, she isn't reacting, she's choosing. And choice is the clearest signal of attraction there is. While many men chase reassurance, labels, promises, and verbal confirmation, they overlook the behavior that reveals commitment far more honestly. This is one of those behaviors. It's subtle. It's uncomfortable to acknowledge, and it tells the truth if you know how to read it. A woman's attention is her most protected currency. Every message, every notification, every saved contact represents a possible emotional pull. When she blocks someone, she's not just removing a person, she's removing a possibility. It could be an ex who still lingers, a man who flirts just enough to stay relevant, or someone tied to an older version of herself. By blocking them, she's closing doors behind her. Psychologically, that's not casual. That's emotional investment, and it happens long before words like commitment are ever spoken. Women, especially women with options, don't do this lightly. Here's what most men misunderstand. This isn't about you feeling threatened by other men. It's about her internal alignment. A woman blocks people when her nervous system feels settled with you. When she no longer needs backup attention, emotional insurance, or external validation. When she feels seen, grounded, and stimulated enough that distractions lose their pull. In psychology, this is consolidation. She's concentrating her emotional energy around one man, and when that happens, her behavior shifts long before her language ever does. Notice the difference between this and an ultimatum. You didn't demand it. You didn't negotiate it. You didn't argue your way into it. She decided on her own that certain people no longer belong in her life because of how she feels about you. That decision comes from respect, not fear, from desire, not pressure. And behavior driven by desire is the only kind that lasts. Everything else eventually turns into resentment. There's a deeper layer most men never consider. When a woman blocks someone for you, she's signaling loyalty not just to you, but to herself. She's saying, I know what destabilizes me, and I'm choosing peace. That means she associates you with clarity, not chaos. With grounding, not anxiety. Women stay where their nervous system can relax. If you've ever wondered whether you're truly winning with a woman, stop listening to what she says when things are easy. Watch what she removes when no one is watching. That's where the truth lives. Blocking someone isn't impulsive for a woman. It's usually the conclusion of an internal debate that's been happening quietly for weeks, sometimes months. She weighs familiarity, nostalgia, validation, boredom, curiosity. She replays conversations. She asks herself uncomfortable questions. And when she finally blocks someone, that debate is over. In her mind, you won, not by competing, but by representing something more stable than what she released. Women don't change direction unless the new direction feels undeniably better. So, when she removes people from her digital life, she's not acting on impulse. She's acting on alignment. Blocking is emotional discipline, and discipline only shows up when something matters. There's a lazy myth that women keep backups because they're The truth is more uncomfortable. Emotional doors stay open when a woman is uncertain, when she doesn't fully trust where something is going, when she's still assessing consistency, availability, and emotional steadiness. Those doors aren't always about cheating. Often, they're safety nets. When those nets disappear, it's because she no longer feels the need to protect herself from disappointment. Here's where it becomes important for you. When she blocks people for you, she's subconsciously testing whether you deserve the space she just created. Women don't remove options blindly. They watch closely afterward. She's paying attention to whether you become more present or more entitled, whether you stay grounded or get complacent, whether you deepen the connection or relax into assumption. Blocking others isn't the finish line. It's the beginning of a higher standard. In her mind, she just raised the stakes. She's saying, I chose you. Now show me I chose right. That doesn't mean pressure or performance. It means consistency. It means remaining the same centered man she felt safe choosing in the first place. Women don't lose attraction because men mess up. They lose attraction because men stop being who they were once they feel secure. There's also a silent respect test here. She wants to see if you recognize the sacrifice without exploiting it. A man who brags, controls, or acts superior reveals insecurity. A man who stays calm, appreciative, and emotionally steady reveals strength. And strength is what made her block those people to begin with. Understand this clearly. She didn't block them because you asked. She blocked them because she felt something with you that made them irrelevant. And relevance in a woman's emotional world is everything. Many men sabotage this moment without realizing it. The moment they sense they've won, they relax in the wrong way. Their presence stalls. Their intentionality fades. They mistake her decision for certainty, when in reality it represents vulnerability. When she blocked others, she reduced her safety nets. She became more emotionally exposed. And now, she is watching closely to see whether you become a source of strength or another risk she has to manage. Men think commitment locks things in. Women experience commitment as a reveal. It shows them who a man truly is. When she blocks someone, she isn't done choosing, she's paying closer attention. Do you stay intentional, or do you drift? Do you listen the same way, or do you interrupt more? Do you still lead emotionally, or do you lean on her for reassurance? Women don't regret blocking people because they miss them. They regret it if the man they chose stopped showing up as the version that inspired the choice. Attraction isn't maintained by possession, it's maintained by polarity, emotional steadiness, and direction. When those fade, the mind reopens doors it once closed, not out of malice, but instinct. Gratitude and obligation are not the same. She doesn't want repeated things for blocking someone that turns her choice into a transaction. She wants you to honor it by being solid, by making her feel that choosing you simplified her life rather than complicated it. There's also an identity shift happening. When she blocks people tied to her past, she's stepping into a new version of herself, calmer, more focused, more future-oriented. Whether you remain part of that future depends on how well you fit who she's becoming, not who she used to be. Men who pull her back into old dynamics lose her faster than men who rise with her. If you become jealous, reactive, or overly attached after she blocks others, you signal that you needed her sacrifice to feel secure. That's unattractive. Confidence isn't feeling chosen, it's acting the same whether you are or not. She didn't block those people because you demanded exclusivity. She did it because she sensed direction. Direction feels masculine. Direction inspires investment. Lose that direction now, and you didn't lose her because she changed. You lost her because you stopped leading. You're not ahead because competition disappeared. You're ahead because she believes you can carry more emotional weight. The question is whether you prove her right. When a woman blocks people for you, she's choosing you emotionally and neurologically. Her reward system is recalibrating. The validation she used to get from scattered attention is being replaced by one source. That's risky. Women don't take emotional risks unless something feels real. This stage either deepens the bond or quietly erodes it. Now, your emotional hygiene matters more than ever. Your tone, your patience, your consistency, everything is amplified. With less noise in her world, you become louder in it. If you bring chaos, she feels it instantly. If you bring calm, she settles deeper. Women stay where they can exhale. Blocking others doesn't mean she stopped noticing men exist. It means she stopped needing them. Focus replaces dependency. And focus is protected by trust, not surveillance. The moment a man starts monitoring, policing, or subtly controlling her world, he poisons the safety that made her choose him. There's also a mirror effect. When she removes people, she watches whether you remove distractions too. Not women necessarily, but fragmented attention, emotional avoidance, A woman who invests wants to be met fully. When she blocks people, she often becomes more emotionally open. Not because she's unstable, but because she feels safe. Men who confuse openness for weakness lose her trust. Men who stay grounded deepen it. The strongest response to this moment isn't dramatic. No speeches. No ownership claims. No victory laps. The power move is quiet consistency. Show up when you say you will. Lead with clarity. Be decisive without rigidity. That's what makes her feel free, not trapped. She keeps people blocked as long as the present feels better than the past. That's the entire rule. If she blocked people for you, this isn't the time to relax, it's the time to refine. You're not competing with other men anymore. You're competing with the peace she felt after letting them go. Women don't block people casually. They do it because they sense stability, strength, and emotional safety. But potential alone isn't enough. She wants proof. Consistent, quiet, unforced proof. The moment she clears distractions, she becomes more attuned to you. Every shift in your presence is noticed. If you drift, she drifts. If you hesitate, she hesitates. This isn't manipulation, it's evaluation. She made space. She's watching to see if you belong in it. That's how attraction turns into attachment. Not through words, but through how you carry yourself when you know you matter. So ask yourself honestly, are you rising to the space she created, or risking it through complacency? Comment your answer below, like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it, because understanding this changes everything.